On. Venture capital firm Blume Ventures recently launched Future of Money report that sheds light on the evolving landscape of central bank digital currencies and its role in the monetary ecosystem. And to elaborate further on the future of money and payments with CBDCs, joining me now is the report's co-author and managing partner at Blume Ventures, Ashish Fafadia. Ashish, welcome back to Startup Street. The rise of cryptocurrencies and their associated challenges has spurred central banks worldwide to explore and innovate in the realm of digital currencies. Before we delve into the report, could you first explain to us quickly how CBDC will change the game for India?
Sure. So I think the fundamental point that CBDC does is that it ensures a complete pass-through without any intermediation. So today, when you talk about a simple transaction like money flowing from one person's account to the other, it requires the banks to help in that process. Imagine that this is now cross-border and there is going to be a further layer of complications. The biggest use of CBDC is that it puts all of these out and you can seamlessly transfer money. And then it also allows significant amount of programmability, monitoring, control, etc., which are the key metrics, which in turn ensures financial inclusion and controls.
Sure. 114 countries, Ashish, representing over 95% of global GDP, are exploring a CBDC. In fact, countries like China, Singapore and India are at the forefront of the central bank digital currency revolution. So tell us what's in it for the average person. How will their life change?
Rather than getting into technicality, Shruti, I'll just take two examples.
Sure.
We take one example for a viewer on the rural side of things. We have challenges around financial inclusion and we have challenges around awareness of digital products and financial literacy in general. Imagine that rather than people having to sift through complex apps, you have a simple physical wallet. Thanks to CBDC, you can imagine a future where people can have a small physical wallet in the form of a chip, which can be utilized for them to go about and use the money, get credit, make payments, etc. Similarly, on the urban side, you can have people go down the path of taking credits, spending money, and even monitoring the end usage of funds as an SME, which has been a big bugbear for the industry, which has changed over the last few years. But with CBDC, it further seals the matter, where a bank who is lending can go ahead and monitor the end usage of funds, call for collections in a much more streamlined manner.
Okay, so picking up from what you just said, tell us how can CBDCs be leveraged by startups then to serve underserved markets? What are the growth areas that you see, the sectors?
Three major areas. There are many areas that we have tried to highlight in the report. I'll just stick to three larger themes. First and foremost, I feel that the biggest use case of CBDC would be in the cross-border trade. The second is credit. And third is a bunch of infra plays. India has been the capital of the world when it comes to financial infrastructure. World over, including in the US, there has been a big shout out to what India has done with respect to its public goods like the UPI and many other things. So CBDC comes right at the top of it and will facilitate a significant amount of speed in cross-border trade, efficiency in credit dissemination, and allow startups to use the CBDC technology and build a few examples that I gave a few minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Ashish, in the report, you have proposed 10 ideas for the upcoming CBDC ecosystem for founders and builders. If you could share the key highlights with us.
Sure. So let's take a few of these cases. Simply put, you have, like I mentioned earlier, you have the whole thing around credit. Today, when somebody gets credit, there is going to be a significant amount of monitoring that the banks have to do. With the help of CBDC, you are in a very healthy position for the bank to be able to track what the enterprise is doing with respect to its credit usage. They can ensure that the funds are blocked, equivalent of what today happens in the ASBA account at the stock markets. You can do a much deeper programmability of the currency because it is all digital and electronic. So now the confidence level of an institution on potential lender goes up many more notches. the ability of a lender to show a certain behavior, negotiate, his credit worthiness goes up significantly.
Okay.
That is one use case, like I mentioned. The other use case is facilitating of exchanges of various currencies across the board. Today, you have exchanges that facilitate currencies physically and digitally in a certain way. There are settlement challenges. With CBDC, you have a very different and a very seamless method on which trading can be facilitated and exchanged, which in turn also gives a shot in the arm for the internationalization of the rupee.
Sure.
So these are two examples that I can add to what I do.
Ashish, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today and wish you the very best with this report. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On that note, it is time for us to head into a short break. But coming up next, my colleague Ritu Singh caught up with Kelly Fontaine, the partner in Sendana Capital. We bring you that conversation on the other side. Stay tuned.